This is the first fatal police shooting in Jacksonville this year. Good evening, I'm Jeff Valen. Thanks for joining us. JSO responded at 10 this morning to reports of a family disturbance at a home in the 11,400 block of Avery Drive. An officer eventually shot 52-year-old Harold Cry, who died. First Coast News' Lana Harris talked with Cry's mother and joins us there live. Lana?
Yeah, Jeff, I've spoken to a few of his family members now, and they tell me that they are devastated and they are furious that they called JSO for help because a mentally ill family member was having some troubles and he ended up shot and killed. Now, this is the house where it happened. We're told by his mother that, see that car behind me, that she first noticed that her son was having some problems when he had gotten angry earlier today and kind of punched out the back window of that car. So she called JSO to be able to help get him to the hospital. Like, they've been here several times to get him to a hospital. And she was not home at the time, and that when she came back, her son was on the ground and there was tape covering up the house and the neighborhood. Now, here's how JSO says it happened. His family members, again, called JSO saying that he was having a mental episode, damaging cars, breaking things on the property. At the same time, JSO says the man himself, Cry himself, also called 911, telling dispatchers that he's ready for the police and no longer wants to live. Now, JSO says when they arrived, officers saw the man sitting, and the man, Cry, that is, sitting on the front porch. We're told that he then stood up holding a large kitchen knife and started walking towards one of the two officers. Now, that officer reportedly told him repeatedly to drop the knife and stop advancing. We're told that Cry then kept walking, staring directly at the officer and telling the officer he wanted to die. Now, the officer reportedly then shot him several times, and Cry was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Now, again, the questions that the family has at this point is why wasn't he tased or why wasn't he shot, maybe in a non-fatal area? Here's what JSO had to say.
You have one officer on scene. The other officer was close behind that initial officer. When it comes to that, you have an individual with a knife who's advancing on the officer, has a 1,000-yard stare, is disobeying all types of lawful commands to drop the weapon. At that point, the officer made the decision at that time to use deadly force.
Now, we're going to hear more from his family later. JSO says that they will be giving us more information, hopefully by tomorrow morning. And they say that they do have training on how to handle people with mental illnesses. So, again, we're going to bring you all this information on air and online, firstcoastnews.com. Here in Jacksonville, Lana Harris, First Coast News, on your side.